hours later. Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's Jesse. You guys know me. Sup grade 9, Miss Trim, and whoever's there. If there's anybody interrupting the class, I say hi to you. So, I'm gonna put on this lucky hat. It's not really lucky, but I like it, so I'm gonna put it on. And today, what I got in store for you guys is, the English project, or English or drama? No, it's drama. Drama project, which is basically we have to talk about whatever we were assigned in terms of theater, and I got modern theater. So you guys will be listening to me talk about modern theater, something that I do not know of, for around 5 minutes. Yay! There could be any enthusiasm in that. I would have put it in this video, but I'm gonna try my best. So there's a set of questions we have to answer that Miss Trim, thank you Miss Trim for putting this on Google Drive. So now I have to answer a few questions and using what I know and what I've researched, and I even highlighted all my work. Cool. Nobody cares. Okay. And so we're gonna get right into this. I have a few questions to answer, and then we're gonna have this fun little acting scene that we have to do of a character, and I'll get into that later. But first of all, let's get into the questions. So question 1, let's get into it. Question 1 says, discuss features and characteristics that represent your historical theater, example modern theater, which is mine. What are elements and features of your specific theater? So first off, I would like to say that realism was probably the main thing, right? The modern theater era started from the 20th century, so that's from 1901 to the 20th century was from 1901 to 2000, but modern drama or modern theater is still today something that we probably talk about. I don't know. So realism, and if you guys are wondering what realism is basically like, how to say this? It's like accepting a situation as it is, or how it is, how it's laid out there for you, the situation, and being able to be prepared for it no matter what. So accordingly, so it's being able to deal with it as you move along, So that's realism, and that's something that really was a big thing in modern theater. For example, once, instead of building actual scenery on the stage, a guy moved an actual freaking room on stage. So that's realism. It's creating a lot more impact. It's creating a lot more how to say this, awesomeness, I guess you could say, to the play, to the stage. There was also lighting began to appear to help with the mood and the scenery of the story. There was three-dimensional designs, and people also focused on creating mood and the atmosphere. So probably back in the day, before the 20th century, where modern theater was a thing, a play would mainly be, for like example, William Shakespeare's, there is Romeo and Juliet, which was pretty big, but most of the plays would be explaining a certain concept, like political concepts and some stuff like that. And there was mood created in these too, like the love stories, but in modern theater, the atmosphere was really a lot more realistic, and a more realistic location and a background and stage and everything to really help with the mood, So that's what they really focused on. And in terms of characters, there's 3 characters that I will mention. There's the protagonist. So that protagonist is like the main character. So it would be freaking Harry Potter, Captain Jack Sparrow. What are the movies? It'd be you guys get the idea. The main character, where the story is around that person. There could be more than one in most cases, but let's just use Harry Potter. For example, we all know the Harry Potter is in the movie title, so we all know that's the main character. Then there's the antagonist, which is the rival. Example, Voldemort. the guy that sets the conflict in the play. Except Harry Potter was a movie, but anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. And then there's the foil. And the foil is somebody who exhibits the opposite traits in a greater or lesser degree than the protagonist, which is like the main character. So in the case of Harry Potter, it would be like the dumb blonde kid. What's his name? The guy in the green team, the Slytherin. Malfoy. Is that his name? Hope that's his name. So he would be the foil, you know. So he possesses certain characteristics that are the opposite of the protagonist, who would be Harry Potter. So you know they always disagree, and then there's like a little rivalry between a blondie and a dark-haired person. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so those are the characters, and that's basically what modern theater. Well, that covers the first question, and then we'll get into the second question. 1 year later. So then we have to identify 3 plays that represent your theater. So the ones that I picked are Eugene O'Neill's Anna Christie, The Hairy Ape, and Long Day's Journey into Night. That is 3 plays, but I can mention others like Lillian Hellman, The Little Foxes and Children's Hour, which are pretty big plays. These are all really big plays according to modern theater, from what I've researched. And yes, I will be putting the bibliography or whatever it is at the end of this video. So yeah, so those are the big plays I just mentioned. I did more than 3, so I expect a bit more, extra points for that extra 4th one. You know, I'm thinking something not too big, just like maybe 5 extra points. I think that's a well-deserved 5 extra points. Then select one from the previous list anyway, and analyze it. So I picked the one and only Eugene O'Neill's Hairy Ape. The reason why I picked this one is because that's the only title that sort of made sense, like it's funny, and that's the only one that caught my eye. I'm definitely not gonna look up like Long Day's Journey into the Night. I don't care about the night, Anyway, don't listen to me. Let's just go through this. Okay, so The Hairy Ape. This play focuses on a guy named Yang, or a fireman on a broad transatlantic liner, to be more specific, which if you guys don't know what he is, the Titanic. If you watched the movie or read the book, or I don't know, you guys know that the boat wasn't operating on motors, it was operating on motors, but the guys in the boat, they had to shovel in all this coal and the fire and the heat non-stop. Well, that's what he was, and he was a New Yorker, so he had the accent, the funny accent, and as a person, he was really strongly opinionated and a brutish person. So he talks about how those people, the transatlantic people, worked for a bunch of upper class people, because if you think about it, Titanic, all the peasants were in the bottom floors, and then the upper class was in those rich fancy places, and then the firemen were always in the ground digging coal, putting in the fire to make the boat run. Well, not run, but anyway. So so he talks about the upper class, and although he is the captain or the leader of his team as a fireman, he's still made fun of, and even though he is right on his opinions of the upper class, people don't seem to really follow him, and he meets this girl, and this girl owns sort of the company in which he works for, and it's a little love story, but the ending was really weird, because the ending apparently, I didn't watch it, or I didn't see the play, but apparently it ends how they both stare at each other. Now, I don't know what the guy was thinking. I don't know if you end a romance just by 2 people looking at each other, but I'm pretty sure he should have included a kiss somewhere in there, But I'm not the expert. So yeah, so he meets this girl, meets her, doesn't even kiss her, what's the point, But so all through the story, it's him as a fireman working, and talking about the upper class. It's a really, really nice story. It was probably themed around the 1920s, because that's when there was like the upper class and the middle class and the working bunch. Like for example, again the Titanic, because that's the only one I really know. Um, what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio plays as a peasant. Well, a peasant. I mean, like a working class sort of person. And then you have the girl, the redheaded girl. What's her name? Forgot her name, but like the main actress who falls in love with Leonardo DiCaprio. She's in the upper class. She has this big. I did not mean that word. I'm sorry. I was gonna say ass, but I didn't mean it. Okay. Anyway, so she has this like diamond, and she's all fancy in the upper class, and I'm getting off title, off subject. All right, that's just anyway. So yeah. So to summarize what I just said, Yank, the fireman, an interesting guy, strongly opinionated. He's tired of working for these upper class people, just digging coal out of the ground and putting it into boats so he can put it into the fire and make the boat go wherever they need to go. And so yeah, throughout the story, it's always that and his buddies who he works with, and it's just a simple story like that, But that play might have meant a lot more to other people, and they did a lot to make it modern. They put a lot of feelings into it. So yeah, this is a lot harder than I thought. All right, so number 3. Choose a character you particularly like and attempt to dress mimicking that period and reciting a monologue. So, I will be Yank. So, the fireman, the guy I just talked about, I am Yank. So, I'm going to go dress as him. I gotta find some baggy clothes or, something like that. Anyway, I'll find something and I'll be back with the monologue. Yay. One eternity later. Alright, so here's the monologue. So this is gonna be hard. Yank has this one of a kind sort of mixed with like Southern and New Yorkian English accents. I'm gonna try my best, but hope you guys enjoy and don't laugh too much. So as you can see, my costume is just ripped. And I got this random military jacket. That's all I have. And I don't know if you can see, but I got some sweatpants on. So yeah, we're just gonna do this. Yeah. So I go back here, okay? And sit down before I knock it down, huh? The Bible, huh? The Capitals class, huh? Nix on that Salvation Army socialist bull. Get a soapbox, hire a hall, come and be saved, huh? Jerk us to Jesus, huh? Go on, I've listened enough. I've listened to lots of guys like you, see? You're all wrong. Want to know what I think? You ain't no good for no one. You're debunked. You ain't got no nerve. Get me. You're yellow. That's what. You're yellow. That's you. What's them slobs in the forest cabin gonna doing to us, huh? What they gonna do to us in the forest cabin? We're better men than they are, ain't we? Sure we are. One of us guys could clean up the whole mob with one mitt. But one of them, down here for one, watching the stalking hole. What happened? Hey, they carry him off on a stretcher. Them boys makes his whole tub run, eh? It ain't us, guys. Well then, we belong, don't we? We belong here. We belong, and they don't. That's all us. As for this being hell on nuts, y'all lost your nerve. That's what. This a man's job, get me? If y'all ain't man, this ain't your job. It belongs to us. It runs this tub. No stiffs need to apply, but you're a stiff, see? You're a yellow. That's you. I did a better job than I expected. So this concludes the presentation. Now I just ripped off my shirt. Well, I didn't really use it anymore. But yeah, so this concludes everything. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just be sympathetic about this. Don't give me a bad grade. I know this is a long video, but I did what you asked for. So thank you very much for listening, and the bibliography I will show you guys. Well, I'll print out a paper because it's easier like that. I don't have to show it on video. So actually, I'm gonna show it on video. Yeah. Anyway, bye guys.